Well, good Wednesday afternoon. I hope you all are enjoying your nice warm weather. I know a lot of us wanted this for quite some time, especially if you live into the mid Atlantic. I'm telling you guys, it's warm today. Some of these folks are getting into near 90. I'm telling you, this is some warm stuff. Here in New England, though, you would just it's just basically spring like out there. It doesn't really feel like a major warm up. It feels normal for this time of the year. Uh, Low to mid 60s. It's nice. We had warmest day I believe was yesterday. Today was a little bit cooler. We had some more clouds around here in New England and actually coastal sections. Oh my god. You'd be like, "What warm up?" You had a coastal front that kind of came through, a little bit of a backdoor cold front, sea breeze, things like that. Boston is only into the lower 50s today. It's a chilly day out there. You'd never know. But then guys down in Pennsylvania near Philly are like, "What are you talking sea breeze? We're almost near 90 degrees." It's a very major fluctuation, and this major fluctuation is actually creating some pretty nasty thunderstorms across Pennsylvania, also in through portions of Ohio. These folks are dealing with some very major stuff right now. Tornado watches and warnings are out into portions of Arkansas and Missouri. Some nasty winter weather in through the northern plains. These folks in here seeing up close to 15 to 18 inches of snow. They're going to get another batch coming in here tonight. So we'll watch out for that. But we also have into portions of New York for tomorrow, particularly tomorrow night. These folks could be dealing with a little bit of snow and a little bit of ice. So we'll kind of keep our eyes peeled on that. So there also could be some pretty nasty snows, and I believe that's why we have a hazardous weather outlook for these folks. We'll look at that hazardous weather outlook. Yeah, low pressure system moving through the Great Lakes Thursday into Friday. Unseasonably cold air mass in place will bring the chance for snow with the system. While snow will be possible even on the coast, significant accumulations will be confined to the mountains and foothills. Mixed precip is also possible for a time on Friday. So that is the hazardous weather outlook. There could be some winter weather headlines that's going to be put out into portions of northern New England. Even some winter weather advisories along the coast. So that's what it's looking like as far as all of that goes. Massachusetts, southern New England, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Most of you folks are going to be spared from the winter weather. A very chilly, raw rain is what it's looking like. It's not going to be nice. It's going to be very yucky and just miserable out there. It'll just feel like a terrible spring day. Yeah, these folks in Kansas, I just feel like I should mention this. Some of these folks in here getting close to 7/10 of an inch of ice. That's a pretty major ice storm. Going back here, sorry about that. Here is the outlook for severe weather. Again, severe weather in here and also coming up and through here. Mainly our focus is for these folks. Nasty storms today working their way through these areas. Tornado chances very slight. Wind chances, this is the highest of the probability. You can see moderate chances coming in here, low to moderate chances. Again, highest chance back out in here, but we don't really focus on that much. But if you do know anybody back out in here, make sure you warn them about it. Slight chance for some hail today, particularly confined to Ohio and the Pittsburgh area of Pennsylvania. So we'll be watching out for that. Tomorrow, what is it looking like for tomorrow? Here's our severe weather outlook, and basically you can see confined to these folks in here, the Ohio River Valley, basically down into Alabama. We'll be keeping our eyes out on that. We also have the potentials for some severe weather in through the southeast. maybe some regular thunderstorms through the mid-Atlantic. There could be some stronger storms that try to work their way in through Virginia. Portions of North Carolina are also maybe working their way in through portions of southern PA. But again, those would not be reaching severe limits. And this is day 3, and there could be a few scattered severe thunderstorms, strong thunderstorms, and through portions of the Delmarva, but for the most part, most of the severe weather confined to the coast of North Carolina. So that's what it's looking like as far as severe weather. Here is our radar, and we'll even update this for you. And just look at this weather going on. This is some serious stuff. I mean, look at this. Massive storms breaking out into PA. We have one line that's starting to form. Here, and then another line that's forming out in PA. This is a major line. Another line also forming in here, and all of this is actually working its way eastward, so eventually it'll be affecting these folks and maybe hearing some thunder. But these are some nasty lines back out into Indiana and also into portions of Ohio. This is some serious stuff. But for the most part, that's the situation. Not the most severe. But look at these storms. I just feel like mentioning it. These storms that are breaking out into portions of Arkansas, and also these little pop-up storms that are kind of sporadic, that are kind of forming because of the heat, are kind of a little bit on the intense side. And we're even having some of those into Pennsylvania where it's pretty warm. Okay, so we're having some instability. It's kind of creating some thunderstorms popping up ahead of the line. So we'll kind of keep our eyes peeled on that. But for the most part, the main line is really what's causing the problems. Here is a surface analysis, and basically, let me just update this for you guys just in case. So basically, here is the current surface reflections here, or the current surface observation. And basically, you can see here's where our stationary front is. This is our actual frontal system moving through. Alright, so we have storms that are popping up along here and along here. These folks are dealing with snow. Here's our little low that's kind of forming out in here. Okay, it's basically right along Texas, Texas and Oklahoma. This is our little La Junta low. It kind of came down like this. It's going to kind of continue moving like this, and basically there will be probably one surface reflection here, another surface reflection here, and this will basically move along the coast. And like I said, there's not going to be a lot in the way of snow with this. Let's update this for you, and here's our satellite imagery. And look at this convection going on along the stationary front. That's some serious stuff. Also some convection going on back out in here. Our actual low pressure system is right in here. This is going to continue to move something like this, and then we'll see a transfer to the coast. That'll be moving up the coast, giving these guys the chilly rain, northern New England snow. And yeah, that's basically what's going on. So, and then of course, we're also already kind of watching this little system that's going to probably work its way through the country later on. So that is the situation. Here are the current temperatures. We'll update this for you. We'll again zoom into the northeast. And I'm kind of doing this just so that you guys can see here just the margin of weather that we're seeing. 50s and 60s across Massachusetts. The warm spot is basically right over Springfield, Massachusetts. That's where temperatures are getting close to 70, but I don't think. Also back out here along the Metro West area of Massachusetts. Chilly spot, well, there was 49 degrees being reported. Now we're starting to see some breaks of the clouds. We have 51 along here, 48 along to portions of southeastern Mass. It's pretty chilly through northern New England, and I'm actually starting here where I live. Um, as the clouds continue to build, it's getting kind of cooler here. Things are getting a bit on the chillier side, not as warm as earlier. Here is the temperatures across portions of Pennsylvania, and I just really want you guys to look at this. This is some very, very, very warm temperatures. Mid 80s, upper 80s to around 90 degrees in through these areas. It's very warm. Washington, D.C., 90 degrees today. In the meantime, back out in here, we have thunderstorms and temperatures into the 60s and 50s. And notice these 40s back out in here. It's much chillier behind this frontal system or behind this rain. It's kind of bringing in a cool shot of air from the northwest or from the northeast, and it's just really it's chilly. So that's the general scenario that we're seeing here. Notice this 91-degree temperature. I mean, this is phenomenal heat. I mean, widespread 90s. 92 is the warmest I can find, but this is some warm stuff. So if you live into these areas, you are sweltering today. All right, so this is what it looks like as far as the models go. It will start off with the NAM. And basically, this is what it's looking like. We'll also show you the jet stream pattern as well. I don't know why this is doing that. Yeah, we'll do this both. Excuse me. So basically, here's our storm system. Overnight tonight, you can see some rains back out here into New England. So basically between 7 and 1 is when those rains will start entering into the northeast. We have some of our storms back out in here, some snow into Minnesota. And the Dakotas, excuse me, there could still be some showers and thunderstorms into the mid-Atlantic overnight tonight. We get, excuse me, a break tomorrow, while here comes our storm. And notice, we could be talking about some very heavy rain. There could be some thunder within some of these bands. And not only that, but we could also be talking about some localized flooding. I expect generally between at least 3/4 of an inch to possibly up to almost 1.5 inches in some areas. That exits out, and temperatures behind this system are much, much cooler. Actually, let me see if the general, if this is out yet. I want to know if we have, if this is updated yet, the NAM. Yes, it is. So here comes our system. Notice the very heavy rain that's going to be working its way through the northeast. This is some serious rain. There's actually 3 lows here, one here, and very slight low pressure here, and then another one here. These 2 are the more defined lows. This is just a additional one, but this is a triple point low working its way to the north and east. Heavy rain and thunderstorms back out into New York, also portions of New England. There could be some isolated, there could be overnight, especially overnight Thursday into Friday, there could be some snow, and during the day, or excuse me, Friday night, there could be some snow as well in through northern New England. It's going to be tough to get this cooler air out, especially into the higher elevations where we could be seeing all snow with this particular event. All right, we'll also look at the jet stream pattern as well. And basically, here's our trough. Okay, here's our trough. All right, basically you can kind of see where this stationary front is set out. All right, here's our energy. This gets pulled in through the northwest. We have basically now a trough that's kind of setting out something like this. This area of energy that's down in here is going to get ejected in through the southeast later on in the beginning of the week, and this is going to kind of keep things cool, showery, and rainy down here while there's going to be a major warm-up. So this might keep things a little bit on the cool side. And then this continues to work its way on through, and you can kind of see the major northwesterly flow that we have here in through the northeast. West-northwesterly flow, and that's going to keep things on the cool side of things. Build and ridge down in here. So eventually the trough comes out and basically things warm up. Alright, looking at the GFS now, and we're just going to look at the surface map here. We're not going to really look at the jet stream pattern, but because you can generally get a good idea of what's going on with a jet stream from the surface map. Actually, we don't want the 18, we want the 12. So this is the situation as far as the GFS goes, if it wants to load up for me. Alright, so here we go. Here comes that storm system, and again, you can sort of see the rains. I anticipate those to start entering into portions of the Northeast and New England by about 7 this evening. Some of these could contain some thunderstorms, some gusty winds could be possible. Notice the northeasterly flow behind this little system here. Okay, basically you have a counterclockwise flow, so that's basically creating some cooler conditions. We also have a clockwise flow around this, so basically that's really ushering in some cooler air for these folks, and basically as this moves along through, this is going to usher in some cooler air. This is going to create a cold air damming event for folks in northern New England. It's going to set up the stage for some snow, and it's going to create a raw day tomorrow for and a chilly rain tomorrow night. So here we go. Alright, so there comes the storm, and basically you can see there's the heavy precip. I'm anticipating some pretty intense amounts of rain. Don't anticipate a lot of flooding with this, but again, there could be, especially some of your low-lying areas, there could be some ponding, maybe some small, little bit of flooding, but this is not going to be a major flooding event. Here comes the rain, the storm exits out, things cool down. I expect another warm-up by the beginning of next week. Again, the GFS is showing the warm air coming in, not as strong as the Euro. Alright, here comes our next little storm system. This could be, again, another La Junta low. We could be seeing some more snow into the Intermountain West. The Rockies, these folks could be getting more snow. And actually, they probably will be getting more snow. And notice, here comes our storm. More snow in the northern plains, the Dakotas. They're going to get rocked again. And here comes our front, and things cool down behind that. Basically, fluctuations as far as everything goes, as far as that's concerned. And I am concerned about this cooler air that's coming in here into the northeast. This is going to definitely keep things much cooler. While we have a nice big build and ridge out west. So, and again, temperatures back up in here into Canada are very, very cold. So, this is going to really keep things chilly up through basically the first week of May. We will have warming periods, but for the most part, I see generally not much in the way of major warm. That's basically the situation. So basically, this warm-up that we're seeing right now is the major one. Finally, looking at the Euro, we saved the best for last. And we see that rain and heavy precip starting to enter into the area by 7. But again, 1 a.m., between 7 and 1 a.m. is when the heaviest of the precip comes in here into the northeast. Remember, counterclockwise flow around this low, clockwise flow around this high, chilly air behind this. This is what's going to set the stage for this storm that's coming in here. Basically, that's what's going on. This is going to set the stage for northern New England. In southern New England, you're going to be talking about some very chilly rains. Here comes that storm, and you can see the heavy precip that moves through, and yeah, I'm telling you, Northern New England, get ready. There could also be ice. Southern New England, be prepared to hunker down. You're gonna wanna just really sleep on Friday. It's not gonna be a good day. Cooler air comes in, but here comes the nice refreshing warmth on Tuesday, and again, nice warm air, nice warm flow from the south and the southwest. Here comes our next little system, another La Junta low, and basically we get some more snows into Nebraska. Yeah, you can see our front kind of starting to form. There could be another line of thunderstorms that kind of forms, and we see that kind of moving through. We see some rain, some precip, and then the cooler air behind that by Saturday the 20th. And notice by the 20th, you can see this major cold air across the whole entire, basically the whole entire country. This is basically this clockwise flow is basically bringing in all of this cool air. I mean, this is some chilly weather. We have a little bit of a building ridge back out in here, and this is going to kind of be what's going to really usher in the cold weather from extreme northern Canada into the Great Lakes in the Northeast. So get ready for that. So basically, some rain, kind of cloudy weather throughout the rest of the week, clearing out by the weekend. Beginning parts of next week were kind of nice, not as warm as this warm-up, but still pretty nice. And then we get a major cool down, and with the potentials to see some cool weather by the end of the month. I do anticipate some chilly weather to be coming through. So that is the situation. That's what I'm looking at as far as the trends here. I hope you all have a excuse me. Here is my map here that I put out for this upcoming storm system. So basically, just to sum it up here, northern New England could be seeing some wintry weather. Localized areas, and these are again in some of your highest elevations, okay, could be seeing close to 15 inches of snow. These lighter blue areas, these are still high elevations, seeing up to 8 inches. These are some of your foothills, some of your lower elevations of the North Country, maybe potentially talking about some icing, and as well as a few, maybe coding to maybe up as much as a few inches of snow. These areas, okay, actually not as far south as that, but these areas, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few snowflakes, alright? We could be seeing a few snowflakes, maybe a few sleet pellets that mix in with the rain, but for the most part, it's going to be rain through all these areas. There's not going to be a lot of frozen precip with those folks. Then we work our way down south, and basically we talk about our severe weather. Basically, severe weather is going to be highest through the Ohio River Valley down into Kentucky. These areas in here we'll be talking about storms, and some of which could be heavy. We'll actually change the color of this so that you guys can basically these folks in here will be talking about some strong storms, but not the worst. Okay, we're not going to be talking about the worst storms. This will not be breaching severe criteria. These areas in the pink, in the hot pink, have a very good chance of seeing rain. Okay, so what you'll probably end up seeing is a little snow, a little mix, then rapidly changing over to rain. All right, now these areas of blue, it's a little bit less likely that you have rain, but still you're most likely going to see rain. The areas of purple are the areas where we have the least chance of seeing rain. So that's what it's looking like right now. The confidence right now is about 85%. The reason why it's still a little bit on the low side is basically because of these folks in here. If I have, but again, this is still pretty confident for these folks. But I'm a little bit more confident in these areas. But for the most part, high confidence, about an 85% chance of everything kind of coming into fruition with this. Again, the Berkshires may still see some stuff going on, but for the most part, everything is looking as if this is what it's going to be like. So for now, that's what it's looking like. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow with another update. Take care, everyone.